Okay, picture this. Just a year from now, AI might create almost 100 million new jobs. But at the same time, maybe 85 million roles are shifting or changing. I mean, what does that kind of huge change actually mean for you?
It paints a picture of really rapid evolution, doesn't it? It demands we all adapt and really get a handle on these new technologies.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to help you make sense of the big forces shaping our world. And today we're diving deep into artificial intelligence, specifically focusing on what the near future, like 2025, might actually look like.
Yeah, we've gathered insights from quite a few places. Forbes for the business angle, Gartner's analysis via Pulses for tech trends, Espacio do Conhecimento UFMG on art.
CNN Forum for balanced takes, Wikipedia for the bigger concepts, built in for industry specifics. It's a mix. Our aim is to synthesize all this, give you a clear, hopefully insightful, maybe even surprising look at what's coming with AI.
Exactly. We're not just, reading off a list. We're trying to connect the dots, provide some context, and pull out what really matters from all these different expert viewpoints.
So what can you expect to get out of this deep dive? Well, we'll break down the key AI trends predicted for 2025. We'll explore how AI is set to reshape industries and jobs.
And we'll look at something pretty cool.
Yeah.
AI's surprising role in the art world. Plus, we have to touch on the big discussions around the potential upsides, but also the risks and challenges.
Right. AI safety, that whole singularity debate. We'll get into that too. Okay, so where's the best place to start trying to wrap our heads around all this?
I think the most tangible place is probably the impact on work. We're already seeing it, and projections show it accelerating dramatically. Our sources really highlight this transformation.
Absolutely. And it's not just the simplistic robots are taking over narrative, is it? We're actually seeing brand new roles emerge specifically because of AI.
Totally. Think about AI ethicist. Was that even a job title a few years ago? Not really. But now, with AI becoming so embedded, we need people focused just on those ethical complexities.
Yeah, exactly. And Forbes mentioned a company, ICE Innovations, actively hiring for roles like AI trainers and machine learning engineers. That's concrete, real jobs being created.
That's a perfect example. And it's not just new jobs. Existing roles are changing too as AI becomes, just another tool in the toolbox across different sectors.
Like in healthcare, Forbes noted AI diagnostics are showing real promise there, potentially improving patient outcomes.
And finance is another big one. AI is increasingly used for risk management, fraud detection, critical stuff.
Plus manufacturing, retail, they're all jumping in, using AI to streamline operations or improve the customer experience. It really feels like it's becoming, pervasive.
It does. But what's really interesting, and Forrest pointed this out citing the World Economic Forum, is this counter-narrative to mass job loss.
Oh, the 97 million versus 85 million statistic?
Exactly. The forecast suggests a net positive in job creation by 2025. While automation will handle more repetitive tasks, the idea is it frees up humans for more strategic, more creative work.
That number really does make you pause and rethink the whole doom and gloom scenario. It suggests AI is also an engine for new opportunities, not just displacement.
Precisely. And built-in emphasizes that point too. For people in skilled or creative jobs, AI is more likely to augment what they do, help them achieve more rather than replace them outright.
Which leads us straight to the need for, learning new things. Upskilling, continuous learning. It seems essential if you want to navigate this changing job market.
It really is. And you mentioned ICE Innovations earlier. Forbes also noted they're investing in AI training programs for their current staff. Smart companies see they need to prepare their workforce.
That proactive approach seems key because, let's be honest, Built-in does point out some roles are at higher risk. They use secretaries as an example of roles facing higher automation potential. Manual tasks, perhaps?
Right. There will likely be some displacement, especially in roles heavy on routine tasks. But the overall picture, if people and companies embrace this lifelong learning idea, seems to be leaning towards growth.
Okay, so the job market is definitely in flux, shifting roles, new roles, big emphasis on learning. What other major AI trends are popping up for 2025? Maybe we can dig into that Gartner analysis from Pulses.
Yeah, Gartner highlighted something they call IA em decisões estratégicas em tempo real. Basically, AI making strategic decisions, like right now, in real time.
Strategic real-time decisions, okay. What does that look like in practice?
It's about AI crunching huge amounts of live data, millions of data points, spotting subtle patterns as they emerge, and reacting almost instantly. Think about super competitive markets.
Like finance, Or maybe online retail.
Exactly. Finance, logistics, online retail. Anywhere speed matters. AI can operate with incredibly low latency, we're talking sub-milliseconds sometimes, to make automated decisions. That's a massive competitive advantage.
Sub-millisecond, wow.
Pulses gave the specific example of real-time recommendation engines online. You browse a product and almost instantly it suggests something else tailored to you.
Happens all the time.
Well, AI can generate those recommendations in under 200 milliseconds based on your current actions. It makes the experience feel super personalized and, well, probably increases sales. Like a hyper-fast personal shopper.
That really drives home the speed and personalization AI brings.
Oh, wait, what was the other big trend Gartner flagged?
The second one is Sustentabilidad Tecnológica, which is technological sustainability. This is all about the growing concern over AI's energy appetite and its environmental footprint.
Ah, yes. This seems to be coming up more and more. All the computing power AI needs must have a cost, environmentally speaking.
It definitely does. Training and running these big AI models takes a lot of electricity. And there's a particular focus now on the huge amount of water needed to cool the data centers that house all this hardware.
Water for cooling. That's not something I'd immediately think of with AI.
It's pretty significant. Pulse has actually cited some figures for ChatGPT's water use. Simple queries might be small, but complex ones can use, well, quite a bit more water. Scale that up globally. And suddenly, it's a major environmental issue.
Right.
That's an eye-opener. So what's being done? Or what's the discussion around solutions?
Well, the conversation is shifting towards building more energy-efficient AI algorithms, for one, and also designing and constructing more sustainable data centers, maybe even more private ones, where companies have tighter control over energy and cooling methods. Sustainability is becoming a big factor in AI development.
Okay, so from the practicalities of energy and water, let's shift gears a bit. You mentioned AI and art. That sounds like an unexpected combination.
It really is fascinating. The piece from Espaço do Conhecimento UFMG explored this intersection. They drew a parallel to how past technologies, like, say, the printing press or photography, always ended up influencing art.
Right, new tools open up new creative avenues for artists. So how does AI fit in?
They highlighted an exhibition in Brazil, Toda Máquina, by Katia Will. It wasn't just about AI generating images, it was about creating interactive experiences. The artworks actually reacted to the people viewing them.
Reacted how? Like changed based on the viewer?
Exactly. The installations used AI to sense human presence, maybe even interpret emotions, and then the artwork itself would modify its appearance or behavior in response to those feelings it identified.
Whoa. So the art changes depending on how you, the viewer, are feeling? That's wild. It creates a sort of dialogue between the viewer and the art, mediated by AI.
Precisely. It really blurs the lines, and it naturally leads to some pretty deep questions, which the article touched on, like, is it still art if an algorithm is involved?
Yeah, and who's the artist? Will human artists be replaced, or is AI just another tool like a paintbrush?
And who owns the copyright? Who profits? As AI gets better, will we even be able to tell human-made from machine-made art?
So many questions.
And the article basically says, look, we don't have easy answers right now. It's something we're figuring out as we go. It's this ongoing exploration of what creativity even means in this new technological age.
It's definitely mind-bending, but also kind of exciting. Okay, so shifting back to the broader implications. With all this powerful tech advancing so quickly, we need to talk about the risks and ethics too, right?
Absolutely. It's crucial. Our sources bring up several key areas. One major one is data privacy. These AI models need massive data sets to learn.
And where does that data come from? Often from us, right? Our online activity or information?
Exactly. And that raises huge privacy concerns. We've seen things like the FTC investigating OpenAI, the Biden-Harris administration putting out an AI Bill of Rights framework.
Yeah.
There's a focus on protecting personal data.
So regulation seems likely to increase.
It looks that way.
Right.
You've got copyright lawsuits piling up writers, the New York Times suing OpenAI, for example, alongside these ethical worries. The U.S. has that executive order setting some initial guidelines, but it feels like just the start.
And what about the environmental concerns we touched on earlier, beyond just water?
Right, there's the climate change angle. On one hand, AI could help optimize systems, reduce emissions. There's potential for good, but building and running these complex AI models is incredibly energy intensive. Some estimates suggest AI's contribution to carbon emissions could grow significantly, maybe even up to 80% increases in some scenarios, if not managed. It's a double-edged sword.
Wow. Okay. What else? Any other major risks highlighted?
Well, there's the persistent problem of bias. AI models learn from data, and if that data reflects human biases, racial, gender, whatever, the AI can perpetuate or even amplify them. We've seen examples with facial recognition struggling with darker skin tone.
Right, and then there's the whole deepfake and misinformation issue. AI making it easier to create fake videos or news.
That's a huge challenge for trust in democracy, definitely. And perhaps the most serious immediate concern for some is AI in autonomous weapons. The potential for machines making life-or-death decisions on the battlefield without human intervention.
And potentially without the ability to distinguish between combatants and civilians. That's a deeply worrying prospect.
Extremely. So alongside all the excitement, there are these very significant ethical and safety considerations that need careful navigation.
Which brings us to perhaps the biggest, most existential question of all. The technological singularity. This idea keeps coming up.
It does. It's that hypothetical future point where artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence. John von Neumann used the term way back, talking about accelerating technological progress, reaching a point beyond which, well, things become unpredictable for us.
And the idea of an intelligence explosion, right? I.J. Good talked about that in the 60s.
Yes, exactly. The concept that an AI smarter than humans could design an even smarter AI, which designs an even smarter one, leading to this rapid runaway self-improvement far exceeding human limits, a qualitative shift.
It sounds like science fiction, but some very serious people are concerned about this, aren't they?
They are. Figures like Geoffrey Hinton, Yoshua Bengio, pioneers in the field, even historical figures like Alan Turing, and contemporary ones like Elon Musk and Sam Altman have all voiced concerns about the potential risks of uncontrolled superintelligence, catastrophic outcomes.
Is there any sort of consensus on how likely this is?
Not really consensus, but a 2022 survey of AI researchers found a non-trivial number think there's a 10% or higher chance of AI leading to human extinction or similarly drastic outcome.
10%, that's significant.
Yeah.
So what's the core worry, the control problem?
That's a big part of it. How do you ensure that an intelligence vastly superior to ours remains aligned with human values and goals? It's incredibly difficult, maybe impossible, to specify human values perfectly, especially for scenarios we can't even imagine yet.
But not everyone agrees it's an imminent danger, right?
Yeah.
I think Jan LeCun has pushed back.
Right. Skeptics like LeCun argue that superintelligent machines wouldn't necessarily develop human-like drives for self-preservation or dominance. Why would they automatically want to take over?
There's also the orthogonality thesis, isn't there? The idea that intelligence level and ultimate goals are independent.
Exactly. Just because something is super smart doesn't mean it will automatically adopt goals we'd consider rational or good, like survival or resource accumulation. Its core programming could be anything like maximizing paperclips, the classic thought experiment.
Still, Alan Turing himself predicted back in 1951 that sufficiently intelligent machines would likely take control, eventually.
He did. It shows these concerns aren't new. But then you have thinkers like Steven Pinker arguing AI might not inherently develop some macho drive for dominance, or Max Moore pointing out that even a superintelligence is still bound by physics in the real world. It can't just magically do anything.
So it's a complex, ongoing debate with really high stakes. Some are calling for pauses in training, more regulation.
Yes, like Musk's call for a pause on training giant AI models. Others, like Intel CEO, argue it's too early to regulate heavily, that we need to let innovation happen. There's no easy answer right now.
Wow, okay. We have covered a lot of ground here. From job shifting to AI making instant decisions to art, ethics, and even potential existential risks. If you had to boil it down, what are maybe 2 or 3 key takeaways for people listening?
Okay, first, I'd say the sheer pace of AI development and integration is undeniable. It's touching almost everything, and that's likely to accelerate into 2025 and beyond. Second, this isn't just about technology. It raises fundamental questions about jobs, yes, but also about creativity, ethics, sustainability, even our future as a species.
Yeah, those are big ones. And maybe a third is that navigating this requires staying informed and adaptable. It's not something you can just ignore.
Absolutely. Both opportunities and challenges are significant. Understanding the landscape, the trends, the debates, it's crucial for everyone, really, not just tech people.
So as AI gets woven more and more into our daily lives, the big question maybe isn't if we adapt, but how? How do you personally leverage this potential while staying mindful of all the complexities and ethical issues? What role does human creativity, human connection play in a world increasingly shaped by these intelligent machines? Something to ponder, perhaps.
Definitely food for thought.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into AI's near future. If you found this useful, we'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the Volture podcast channel and give this deep dive a like. It helps others find it.
And remember, we do more deep dives like this on tech, innovation, and trends, plus our book analyses.
So check those out too. We hope this gave you a clearer picture of the fast-moving world of AI.
Thanks for listening.
Until the next deep dive, thanks for exploring with us. Don't forget to subscribe.